For the past 10 years, the Arab country Syria has been at war. It all started as a peaceful uprising in 2011 against the current president Bashar al Assad. But when the protests were violently suppressed, it turned into an armed conflict, which is what we know today as the Syrian Civil War. What was so bad about Syria's president that led this country into a decade long civil war? Bashar al-Assad became the president of Syria on July 17, 2000, after his father passed away in office just a month prior. The al-Assad family and the Arab Socialist Ba'ath Party have been in power since the 1970 coup d'etat. That means that it's an authoritarian government. Before the war began, people were complaining about unemployment, corruption, and lack of political freedom under the president. That is what sparked the anti-government protests inspired by the Arab Spring in other countries. Today, Syria is among the worst countries that oppress their citizens. Throughout this long, devastating war, nearly 400,000 people have been killed, 6.2 million people have been displaced, and there are 5.6 million refugees. Many cities have been destroyed by bombs and gunfire, leaving countless people without homes or basic human essentials. There are huge differences between Syria and Canada. Canada is a democracy, while Syria has an authoritarian government. If people in Canada protest the government, they are allowed to do so as long as they aren't harming anyone. In Syria, however, even peaceful protests were not tolerated by the government, which led to an entire civil war. Most people in Canada can live safely knowing that their human rights will be respected and that they can freely state their opinions. Meanwhile, in Syria, trying to speak up against the government could have dire consequences. Another difference between Syria and Canada is the overall quality of life. The Human Development Index of Canada in 2019 was 0.92, while Syria's was only 0.56. This means that Syria has a very low quality of life. Even before the war began, Syria's Human Development Index was in the 0.6 area, which still isn't too great. I chose this country for my project because I feel like it's a very good example of countries that oppress their own people. It went so far that an entire civil war broke out because of it. Unfortunately, it's still unclear when this war will end, so the only thing we can do is help refugees find homes and hope that it will be over soon.